here we are talking about coronavirus. And in the context of transportation, and for the interest of time, I will just limit it to transportation. I heard the governor of Jaffa talking about other things, which is also very interesting to hear. But let me just put it in the context of transportation and in the perspective of Banjul. Public transportation is one of the essential services in my city, as outlined during the COVID-19 pandemic. And maintaining an adequate level of service, that is, Mr. Moderator, here I am trying to explain what, as the question goes, how is the COVID-19 emergency affecting mobility in my city? And maintaining an adequate level of service amid the virus is excuse me, I was gone from my network.
Now we can hear you.
We can hear you. Amid the virus present challenges related to sanitation and disinfectant service of riders and drivers. We have also effect on daily lives of citizens, of course, and workers who must use public transport during the crisis remains challenging in terms of safety, economic costs, and service quality. This is to say that people cannot move from place to place, or the transportation prices has gone high, and that has all affect my municipality. And when we talk about the urban mobility in COVID-19, the other question here. Hello, am I here? Are you hearing me?
Yes, yes, please. Yes, we are hearing you.
Okay. When we talk about the urban mobility in COVID-19 emergency, the three challenges that I have here is the information awareness. The information awareness is very, very difficult here in the Gambia, because most people, in one way or the other, they don't believe in this sickness. They don't believe it at all. And those maybe who believe it also are not maybe in the rural areas, not having enough information. And also training, also to train our nurses. Everybody knows that the coronavirus has ambushed the world. It has ambushed the world. So it's very, very difficult, especially when you talk about Africa, or let me say the context of Gambia, where we don't have many doctors or nurses, and many people are not familiar to this disease. So training also is a problem. And we also have this challenge of provisions of GIA and disinfection. And as I said, disinfectants, as I said, the virus came without any notice. So this is something that people doesn't know before in the world. So it's really, really very difficult in the context of my city. Again, we talk about what we have learned, or where am I? We talk about what we have learned from the crisis. Establish mobility services that enable everyone to move freely and safely using sustainable modes of transport. I'm just trying to shut it down because of the interest of time. And so land use patterns support high quality public transport services and offers sufficient intermodality options to create cities that are livable and provide safe and attractive places, foster sustainable urban mobility policies, which contribute to generation, health and well-being, and community cohesion. Mr. Moderator, just to sum this up, I just want to make emphasis that the transport system, as I said, in Banjul is in displace. That is the reality because of the COVID-19. Even though public transportation is being operational, it is facing significant challenges amid lower ridership, but faces a huge problem in terms of effecting a tight scrutiny on sanitation during the outbreak. As I said, lack of disinfectants to spray commercial vehicles remaining a big problem, even where some drivers have hand sanitizers with them most of the time. But this is more so for their own personal safety and protection. So that means you will go into a car where, or in a bus where it is not disinfected, even though the driver has a a sanitizer, but how about the passengers? So this is also a very, very big problem. The mass transportation system for Banjul and the rest of the country have to auto-regulate their operations due to the regulation imposed in line with social distance regulation. One such regulation calls for drivers to temporarily reduce seating capacity by half in all public and private vehicles. This has led to complaints from vehicle owners calling on government to correspondingly reduce the price of fuel to compensate the loss. So again, we have a problem here because government is saying not too much people in buses or in vans, but what are they doing for those the owners of those vehicles? So it means also this is a big challenge in the mobility because they are still taking the risk of taking a lot of people because simply because they don't want to work on losses. So what the government did is by reducing the petrol price to $1, but that is not really something that is helping. In addition, also the stay at home and work from home regulation has created less mobility compared to the pre-corona era. Notwithstanding, the regulation has led to ordinary people who make a daily living from media jobs failing to distance themselves as they struggle to board the limited public transport to go about their daily chores to make ends meet. So staying at home, most people don't have money. When you come in the context of Gambia, many people are poor and their living is from hand to mouth. So it's difficult for them to stay home. So they are still going out. So these are some of the problems for the interest of time. I can go on, but let me just stop here to in a nutshell to say that yes, we have a huge problem in the Gambia when it comes to mobility because definitely people are not adhering to the rules simply because of poverty and the lack of awareness also is also what creating people to not stick into the rules. So, Mr. Moderator, I will stop here by saying thank you very much and please greet my UCLG family. They are working tirelessly. I am even surprised that with all these chaos in the world, the family is out to make sure that we have awareness. Thank you very much to my family.